Hi loves, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely backstops with ruffles, and I made this for my client and it's looking so gorgeous. If you want to know how to make this, you want to see how to make this for yourself, please keep on watching. I'm using a bust that's basic bodice. I'm going to be marking half of my nipple measurements because I'm about to take my waist dart. And I'm also going to be marking 1 inch below the bust line and then half an inch on both sides of dart legs to create my dart. I'm connecting to the 1 inch point. Now I just marked my underbust measurements so as to first do our underbust tightening. I'm marking half an inch on both sides after the bust that we already made, and I'm connecting that with a curve to the 1 inch below the bust line. So here our underbust tightening is done. Now I'm just going to be connecting this line to our dart lines we already created and down to the back line. For the back line, I came down 4 inches below the waistline. Now I'm just marking quarter of my bust measurement on my chest line and also on my bust line and connecting that together. I'm about to make my bust dart, so I'm placing quarter of my waist measurements. I'll be faintly connecting that to the bust line and connecting it also to my nipple to nipple measurements. I came out by 1 inch and came down on my side line by 1.5 inches. I'm just making sure my bust dart lines are of the same size. If they are not, I'm just adjusting that through. So our bust dart is done. For our cleavage, at my neck point, at the beginning of my neck point, I'm marking down 9.5 inches for my cleavage, for the cleavage, and coming in by half an inch. On our underbust, I came out by an angle of 1 inch and connected that to form our cup. I connected it to the underbust tightening and also the 1 inch and also up to the half inch we already came up by. You need to smoothen your line so you won't have any sharp edges. This is how our cup is looking. To form the other cup, we have to close the bust dart. So to close the dart, you have to open another. I close my waist dart so as I can close my I opened my waist dart, so I could be able to close my bust dart. So I'm closing it and I'll be blending my lines together. Now I'm just marking the diameter of my bust, which is 8 inches, and connecting it with the underbust tightening to form our curve, and with a straight line taking it up to the chest line. For more security and more tightening, I'm taking half inch from the chest line, and I'm also going to be forming my armholes, and on that same chest line I come down by half an inch as well. Now I'm just connecting all points together to form our armhole. After that, I connected my chest line to the cleavage point, and our front bodice is almost done. I'm just cutting out my cup. For this cup, I actually use this pattern like this, but I'll prefer if you want to use this cup, if you want to do this particular cup, you actually make the slash and spread method and then spread it out so you have more room for your bust. Mine turned out fine this way, but I'm just suggesting a different approach if you're going to be doing this. Now, if you notice, I'm cutting out my dart intakes because I'm about to place my main measurements, because the one we already placed, that took it out. So now I'm placing quarter of my actual measurements. Please note that there is no seam allowance in this pattern. So I'm connecting my actual waist length, and then I came out by 1 inch because I really like my backs at the side to just come out by 1 inch, and I'm connecting that 1 inch to the back line, which is 4 inches below the waistline. So this is how our front pattern should be looking. You just cut that out. Next is our back pattern. With our basic bodice, I made a cleavage point. I won't say cleavage point, but our back neckline is going to be stopping at same line with our chest line. Please note that on the side line, I already came out, and also came down by half an inch for tightening as I did in the front. So remember your zip tightening. So this is my yoke and my bodice together. I'm cutting off my dart intake. So from that 1 inch, I'm connecting it back to my waistline because I really like a snatch up effect at the back. So this is our back pattern ready to be cut. So you'll be cutting 4 pieces each of this pattern. This is how it's supposed to be looking, both for the lining and for the main fabric. So after joining everything, this is how it's supposed to be looking. Now I'm just going to be sandwiching the cup and also the yokes into the main fabric and the lining fabric. I'll be taking that from the second front. I'm going to be joining it at half an inch. Please, when you're turning this over, remember to make notches so that when you're ironing it, it's going to lap perfectly well. So this is how it's supposed to be looking after joining it. Our center back is already, I joined my center back lining and main fabric by half an inch. So now I'm just making boning lines. I'm going to be sewing in boning lines and then inserting my bonings into it. After inserting my boning, I just added my zipper and closed my shoulder line, and this is how your body should be looking for now. Now I'm just going to be taking my tape and measuring my waist measurement, our back's measurements throughout, and then timesing it by 2. We're timesing it by 2 so that we're going to have a ruffled effect by the time we are going to be gathering. You're going to see what I mean. So I cut out a fabric of 5 inches. Our actual measurement we need is 3.5 inches. I cut out additional 5. I made it 5 inches because I need ½ inch for joining and ½ inch for 1 inch for hemming. Sorry. So I'm taking this to my machine and I'll be sewing lines, 2 lines, and then gathering it up. Once we are done gathering it up, it's going to be looking something like this, and then we'll be attaching it to our back line. And at the end of it, this is what you should be having. It's so pretty and gorgeous. If you like this top and you like this video, you want to see more of please check out more of my videos. I'll be leaving links to directions on how to see them. So I'm going to see you next time. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Much love. Bye.